Hi guys, Joe Alexander here from Incognito Wraps. I just wanted to take you around and show you the shop. Here's our lobby. We've got some pretty cool stuff in here. This is our Rolls Royce bench where you get to pick your colors. You can even come over to the screen, pick a car, throw a color on. It's very interactive for the customer. Follow me in the back here. I'll show you where we do the work. We've got a giant viewing window here so customers can come and take a look and see what we got going on without staring over your shoulder. Right over here is our production room where we have our printer and our plotter. Our graphic artist sits in here. A bunch of install area over here. We can fit about 6 cars back here. And then in the back, we also have a clear bra room in its own separate room. So we got a couple more cars in the back. We have a few more cars back here. We do some window tinting in this area and some other wraps. And then we have our separate clear bra room, our clean room over here, which isn't very clean today. So I've already cleaned the panel, and I've already tack clothed it, but just because I picked up this from the table, I'm just going to tack cloth it again once more, just real quick. All right. Pull off the backing paper. I'm going to set the material off the panel, so like over here on the door. So I can kind of pull on it, but I don't really want to set it on the panel that I'm working on because I don't want to get a line from where I'm going to pull from. So I'm just going to set it over here. Let me get that heat gun real quick. It's a little cold in the shop, which is good, but because it is, and I'm sick of this matte material, before I even get started, I'm just going to give this some warmth because I don't want it popping off on me. All right, and then we're gonna kind of try to focus on like across each body line to body line. I'm gonna use an IR heater. So I'm just gonna lift it up to the door and go ahead and heat me up the whole thing. And I'm gonna just kind of do this in a few sections. The first is gonna be like your main body line. And since it's nice and chilly in here, just kind of spend a few minutes warming up in the film and making sure that it's nice and pliable. Ready? Yeah, nice and smooth. There you go. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. So the idea here is we're going to try to work from this body line. We already pulled, so it'll kind of just suck in there. But what I want to do is I want to just kind of get this down to this other body line, lift it back up, get it flat, and then install it down so you don't get a glue line. So just throw a little bit of, I throw a little glass cleaner, like a foaming glass cleaner. It doesn't have any ammonia in it, so it can't hurt the vinyl, but it just adds a little bit of like slip, picks up the dirt so you don't get a scratch in it. Now what I want to do is I just want to lift this up, and it's going to give me some heat across this bottom so I can start flattening this stuff out. In fact, I can even get rid of some of this here. Okay, so you're going to give me some heat here so this will just start flattening out. There you go. That's good. I don't want too much heat. I'm going to lift this whole thing up to this body line, or just a little past. There you go. Now go ahead and heat me up. So I'm just going to pull that, stick it there. So we're going to go ahead and heat this whole main area. Set this down. And I'm just trying to like let it float, as you can see, get the shape and just let it float. And you bring it all the way forward. And I don't want to keep pulling, you just kind of let it relax towards the end here. And I'm going to tag this corner. So this is kind of like one of the things how you could get these corners to sit nice. Is I'm just going to throw the corner down. Give me some heat down here so I can get this to move over a little bit. Right here. Throw this. All right, and then give me heat that comes up and down. And then I'm just going to give it a little bit of a tug down. So you see how the vinyl wants to fold? Well, that fold is going to want it to flip in. We call it like rubber banding it. And then I get this corner. Usually I spend a little bit more time getting the shape of the car, but all right, it'll work. Let it shrink back on itself a little bit. All right. So now that I just have all this stuff just kind of floating there, I'm just gonna go ahead and install it down. You could use a glove and then come back with a squeegee, but right now I'm just gonna go ahead and use a squeegee. You can see the air egress works really nice. I really gulped a lot of air in pulling this around, and the air's just pushing right out. No problems. So when you're heating it, you always want to try to avoid from heating where it's touching. For example, like if it's touching right here, you don't want to just hit it with heat because the glue will gather and you'll get a glue line. Also, you can see there's a lot of tension coming from over here. So before I start trying to heat and try to pull this up, I could just heat this up over here where I'm not even touching and just get this to relax and work my way over here. There's a little peak right here. So I want to have just a little bit of tension coming across this line. So I got my tension, and I'm going to keep coming up. Set this real quick. Come over here. I like it to be on or just near that body line. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of a tug downwards from that. Set my corner. And then you can just shrink the middle. We got a nice pull, so there's a lot of tension here from pulling. So instead of heating over there where I'm installing it, I'm going to heat over here where I'm not installing, and it'll just flatten it out. And since it's kind of resting in there, I want to heat it, but I don't want to get the heat near where it's touching the material, or where it's, I don't want to get the heat near here. There's a really sharp corner that comes in. So I pulled this corner, and now you could just kind of lift up the film and shrink it into place. Now we have our final corner right here. One of the other things I want to point out, because I think that some people might make this mistake, not all people, but some people might make the mistake that if they lift it up, they think they have to reset everything. And I'll show you what I mean right over here. I've already shrunk this corner and put my tension right in the corner. And this could even maybe lift up, even like if you're trying to do this. And you might be compelled to just, shit, I got to reset it or give it some heat. But the reality is all you got to do is just set it back down, and it's going to hold its shape. And even my corner's still there. So you don't have to worry about, like, if you just lift it up a little bit, you can kind of see that the material is just holding its shape. You just push it back down, and when you're getting ready to heat it, post-heat it, it'll just drop into place. It's just cut, it's just like resting here, and then you just hit it with the heat, and you can see it just shrink in there. All right, so that's, normally I would open everything up and get it all, but it's, for demonstration purposes, it gets you the idea. But